Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a vlog that I have been looking forward to making for quite a while now. Pretty much since I arrived in Germany, I've been looking forward to making this vlog. Now, if there's one thing that Stuttgart is known for, it's not art museums or Schlossplatz or Königstrasse or really any of the things we've seen so far. That one thing would be cars. All right, Stuttgart happens to be the home of both Mercedes-Benz and Porsche, two of Germany's biggest car manufacturers, names you've almost certainly heard of. And they happen to have museums here. Big, very well-known museums, the Porsche Museum and the Mercedes Museum. And so today, I'm going to be touring those museums. So yeah, today's video is for all the fellow car enthusiasts out there. And I have heard from a non-car person that the Porsche and Mercedes Museum were actually really neat. So as a non-car person, I have some pretty high hopes. Let's just put it that way. But today we're starting by going to the Porsche Museum, and that means going farther north on the subway than I have ever gone before. So I guess that'll be kind of exciting, a bit of an adventure of sorts, I guess you could say. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, well that wasn't a terribly long train ride, and so we have arrived, as you can see, at the Porsche Museum. Very impressive looking building. Holy crap. So this is Porsche Platz. We've got Porsche factories, a Porsche Square, a Porsche dealership, of course the Porsche Museum. But what a really cool area. Holy crap. This is ridiculous. Love this. Love this so much. The first 911. I mean, not the first. I mean, that clearly says number 57, but you know, you get the idea. Still really cool though. Here we've got the 959, which was at one point the fastest car in the world, as well as some racing variants of it. What a cool museum. More very cool race cars, including the 1 millionth Porsche, which became a police car, as you can see. And here we've got Sally from Cars. His eyes are a little more concerning than I thought they would be. So, all right. And this is one of the fastest race cars ever. At least the fastest car around the longest racetrack in the world. So, very cool. Really just been loving this museum so far. It's such a cool place. Just chock full of automotive history. It's so cool. Love it. I think this car sits a little low to the ground for me, but other than that, pretty cool. What a genuinely awesome space. So cool. Well, that was definitely one of the coolest museums I've ever been in. It was a bit smaller than I anticipated it would be, unfortunately. And the other disappointment was that they did not have a certain race car that I would have really liked to see there. But other than that, I mean, just what a really awesome museum. I definitely think this would be cool to check out, even for non-car people. And it was only, for me, a student ticket was €5. So, I mean, That's a pretty good deal, if we're being honest. I would highly recommend you come here. This is definitely one of the coolest things to do in Stuttgart. So, yeah, super double, triple thumbs up recommendation for the Porsche Museum. Plus, I got this cool Porsche development t-shirt from the gift shop, so that was pretty neat. Scarf update. I finally got my Paris scarf today, as you can see. So we've got one more to add to the wall. And it came with these jelly beans. So yeah, that's interesting, I guess. So yeah, I guess today's food review is going to be these jelly beans that I randomly got in the mail. So just give me a second to pour them in my hand. Boom, look at that editing magic. All right, so we're going to start with this, I don't know, this yellow one, I suppose, bottoms up. I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked at how good these are. I thought these were going to be terrible. That was actually really good. Hold on. Okay, now it's starting to taste a little cheap. As soon as I put it in my mouth, I get this taste of almost like soap. But then it's just sugar. So, I mean, honestly, try a green one. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. All right. These are actually not bad. So, if you want to purchase from I don't know, Mr. Low Cost or something, I forget who it was on Amazon. I don't read French. So, if you want to try and piece that together, you're more than welcome to. But yeah. All right. Not terrible jelly beans. All right, I checked the back and it looks like they're actually just Haribo jelly beans. So that explains a lot. All right, guys. For today's adventure, as you can see, we're in Feiningen. Let's just getting a quick bit of shopping out of the way. But for today's adventure, like I was saying, we are heading into the small town of Böblingen, a little south of Stuttgart. In fact, it's further south than I have ever gone by train before. So this will be another interesting little train adventure. But they've got something there called Motor World, which I don't know. It seemed interesting, and it kind of fits with the car theme of the vlog. So before we go to the Mercedes Museum, I figured we might as well check out that. So here we go. All right, appears we've made it to Böblingen, and that looks like our destination over there. So let's get into it. There's stuff here I have never seen before, not even at Cars and Coffee. This is absolutely ridiculous. All right, very strong start for Motor World. Really cool. So this end appears to be the Bentley and Lamborghini dealerships. Pretty ridiculous. Okay. Most of you, I've never seen a Lamborghini dealership before, at least. So this is pretty cool for me. I don't know if I've seen a Bentley dealership either. So this is really neat. Very cool place, as you can probably imagine, for car enthusiasts such as myself. So inside it looks like we've got private parking and workshops. So very neat, and maybe even a store or two. Very cool. And the inside of this place is just ridiculous. Some of the cars that are here, and like even just some of the cars that are supposed to be here, according to these little signs that they've got. This is really neat. So in addition to that yellow Lamborghini Diablo back there, which I have never seen before, they've also got two of the new Countachs. Again, something I have never seen before, and don't think many people have seen. So this is wild. Absolutely wild. And in case you're wondering, this space is what used to be Stuttgart Airport, which is why it's so large and why they've got some airplane motifs going on here. So pretty cool. I know a certain someone who would absolutely lose his mind going to this place. It's great. He would definitely lose his mind. It's crazy. Not even sure what that is back there, but it's cool nonetheless. Very cool little model car shop. Too bad they're closed until the 9th, but oh well. Still pretty neat. All right, and this is a Ferrari dealership, it looks like. Got one over here too, and oh, I think that is the first ever LaFerrari I have seen, so marking cars off my spotted list. Very cool. This complex also happens to have a Porsche dealership, McLaren dealership, and Germany's sole Pagani dealership, which I don't know if you can see right there, but it's this little corner store right here. So, yeah, I would consider that to be pretty wild. Pretty cool place. Right, well, it seems like unless you have a truly ludicrous amount of money to spend, whether that be on the cars, or the hotel, or the Michelin-rated restaurants, there isn't really a whole lot to do down here at Motor World other than gawk at the cars. But that's what I've been doing for the past hour or so, and it's been pretty fun. I've quite enjoyed it. So, yep, time to head on back for the day. Pretty fun time down here. Would highly recommend to all car enthusiasts. All right, after about a week of waiting, because I forgot that the Mercedes Museum was closed, it is finally time. They are open again once a day, and they have free admission, which is great for me. So we're finally gonna make our way over to the Mercedes Museum and see what they have to offer. It's something I've been looking forward to for a while. So let's get into it. Yeah, all right. So maybe visiting on free admission day wasn't the best idea in the world. Who'd have thought? I will say though, this circle is pretty good for car spotting. And boom, 2 days later and the line is gone. Funny how that happens. I mean, this whole area is just one giant Mercedes complex, as you can probably see, very similar to Porsche plots. Down there we've got Mercedes Street, and off in the distance back there you can see the Mercedes-Benz Arena, which is where VfB Stuttgart plays, the local soccer team. We are celebrating them this week after they miraculously managed to avoid getting relegated into the second Bundesliga. So huge props to VfB Stuttgart. So yeah. So the Mercedes Museum does happen to be a bit larger than the Porsche Museum. 8 stories, owing to the fact that it is the oldest car company in the world. And as you probably guessed, these are, in fact, the oldest cars in the world. Or at least examples of them. Very cool. Here in the center, we've got the world's first Mercedes, or first car to be called a Mercedes. It was also their first race car. It's named after a guy's daughter. But very cool. Nice view. Right, well, I said the Mercedes Museum is much bigger than the Porsche Museum, and it felt that way at first, although I do seem to be moving rather quickly through these floors. Still, though, it is a very impressive museum, and I do think it is larger, just not as much larger as I had originally thought. Transport vehicles are cool, but this is cooler. And just to clarify, so they want you to know what this is. And here we have undoubtedly one of the sexiest cars ever made. So sexy that they need to have it under constant surveillance. I mean, admittedly, the first few floors were cool, but now that we're starting to get into some of the, I don't know, more interesting, iconic cars, it's, I don't know, getting a little more interesting for me. I guess Mercedes has more of a reputation in the US because we don't really get vehicles like this, you know, the work trucks, the fire trucks, the ambulances and police cars and taxis, like any of these service vehicles. We don't usually see Mercedes for that, but I don't know, over here that's just kind of what they do. So, interesting. Right, so between the floors of the museum, they've got these little placards showing world history events, and this one mentions the Kennedy assassination and that last sentence. Just saying. I think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. I will definitely say that each section feels very appropriately themed with the various cars and lighting and music and just decorations. It all feels, they all work together very well. I quite like it. Here we've got a nice variety of celebrity vehicles, including the one and only Pope Mobile. Heck yeah. Yeah, so here we've got Mercedes owned by Hardy Kruger and Lucas Podolsky. Mercedes from Jurassic Park 2. And the bus used by the 1974 World Cup winning German football team. Or soccer team. You know what I mean. Starting to get to the end of the museum now, as you can see. The Mercedes of today and the future. Big emphasis on renewable fuel sources, electricity, that sort of thing. So, but still some cool cars, cool concepts here. And that brings us to the final section of the museum, which for me is probably the coolest. Oh yeah. To me at least, it seems like this is the largest section, and they've got a pretty nice variety of old and new, kind of working their way back in age, as well as the very iconic and the very fast to the slightly lesser known, perhaps. Yeah, my favorite section by far. Yeah, this is definitely where a majority of the effort went into. I mean, and we got all the silver arrows back here. Lovely. Definitely my favorite section of the museum. So I may have set my expectations a bit high for the Mercedes Museum, as a car enthusiast at least, if I'm being completely honest. That's not saying I disliked it at all. I thought it was fantastic. It's just, I don't know, comparing it to the Porsche Museum, because Porsche has a shorter history and they're much more, I guess, motorsport focused. It feels like they had a pretty comprehensive walkthrough of their entire history, whereas Mercedes is a pretty big and long-standing company, and so it felt more, I don't know, scarcely packed compared to Porsche, at least. Again, it's not saying I disliked it or that you shouldn't visit it. I think it's fantastic and you should absolutely visit it. I mean, €5 for students isn't a freaking steal, but I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I'm disappointed. I'm definitely not. I will note how it was very smooth of them to transition from museum into shop into a car dealership right at the end. But other than that, really, really cool place, and I did thoroughly enjoy my time here. I don't want to, you know, make it sound like I didn't. I did get another shirt, by the way. So I've got 2 shirts, 2 specialty bags. So yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. I'm gonna head home and probably edit this video and get it out as soon as I can, because I am very excited to show you guys what I've experienced over the last couple weeks. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate it. And until next time, have a good one.